Hey everyone, it's MrKikz and welcome to my desert of creation. I've had a few people ask me how it is I create the 3D characters I've been making for Planet Coaster. So I thought I'd make this little video to show people how it is. Most people are quite baffled by the whole thing. They think I'm cheating and importing 3D models somehow, or just using black magic. Let me put those rumours to rest right now, everyone. I use only 2% black magic in the creation of these things. I only sacrifice one small vol before each session, and that's it. The rest is good old-fashioned elbow grease. So let's get into it, and let me show you how it is that I create these things. It's not black magic. Calm down. Okay, so today I thought we would make a Cheep Cheep. It's not as complex as some of the other characters I've been making, so I thought it'd be, easier and quicker to get through this to make a video than it is to create some of the more, complicated things like Wario or Bowser that I've been making over the past couple of days. So I'll start with the eyes here. It's where I usually start. I don't know why that is. I think it's I don't know, it's like an artist thing or something. We like to start with the eyes because it's the window to the character's soul or something. So if you get those right, it kind of feels everything else goes a little better from then on. If it's a good place to start to know you're on the right track. So I'm using these sort of oval shapes here, these sort of rounded shapes. It's always better to use a rounded shape on top of a rounded shape. If you use flat shapes, it can sometimes bleed through and become a little bit awkward, but it does depend on the sort of severity of the curve and things like that. So I'm just checking the reference here to sort of, get an idea of how the eyes are positioned and things like that. As you can see, the shape's a little bit weird and a little bit awkward. It's not quite round. It's not quite this shape that we've got here. It's somewhere in between. So I use this technique that I use. It's what I call stretching. It's where you just sort of gradually, incrementally pull out the shape and duplicate it, just to try and stretch it out a little bit and make it look more like what it is that you're trying to create. Start doing it on this one as well, and then realised, no, idiot, copy it. Okay, so I use the multi-selection tool here and just deselect the main sphere, and you can adjust the shape again after you've done this. I'm pressing X, and it just makes it a little bit easier. You can't copy them though; you have to create a blueprint, which is a little bit irritating. But it's just how you got to do it and how it works. So then, yeah, you start miles away again and sort of have to work it in gradually. Just sort of, work by eye. Just eyeball it and try and fit it in as best you can. There is really no secret to this. It's very difficult to create sort of symmetrical objects for these reasons because there's no trick. Well, there is a trick, but I'll talk about that later. It doesn't always work though. So you sort of everything's by eye, and you kind of have to just adjust things as you go along and try and make it better as you go along. You don't have to sort of plug stuff and say, oh well, I can't do this, it sucks. Just keep working at it. It's the best advice I can give. Don't strive for perfection because you will fail. Just good enough is good enough. That's all we need. So you can see I'm sort of embedding this shape in here to try and make it a little bit smaller and fit the reference and just to see. But as you can see, we get this sort of weird sort of bending, pixelating effect around the edges. It didn't look quite right, so I wasn't going to work that way, and thought these might work a little bit better for the pupils. So yeah, we're just wiggling around and trying to get it. As you can see here, I noticed because of that, that one's not quite in line with the other one. So yeah, it is a process of sort of just gradually tweaking stuff as you notice it. You can see me sort of swing the camera around quite a lot and check from all these different angles, which is, I realise, a little bit irritating to watch. Sorry, that's just how I work. And I could not select this for the life of me, so I had to sort of dive into the shape and select it that way, which is also another good tip. If you can't quite grab hold of something, just go into the shape, dive in, go Doctor Strange and delve through dimensions. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, so we've got these pupils. They're looking alright, maybe a tiny bit wonky. I haven't quite noticed that, but hey, whatever. Again, the perfection thing, folks. It's not about being perfect. It's just about trying to recreate these things as best as you can. And yeah, that's looking okay. That's looking good. Right, that's the smallest shape we use there. There is no smaller shape than that. So you kind of have to cheat. This is one of the most difficult things about building is you kind of have to find these workarounds, and there's that sort of weird pixelated edge thing again. I'm trying to sort of shrink it down inside, but it's bleeding out the top and it's all wonky, so I sort of switch it around to this elongated edge here and work it around that way, and it works much better. And that is, again, what it's all about. You have to sort of cheat the system. You have to cheat the limitations these shapes put on you. Again, having to go inside there to select it and then pull it out. Again, not quite even. Never mind, perfect ain't perfect, folks. This is how it goes. So yeah, I'm digging back to the reference now, deciding what it is I'm going to work on next. And I think it was the lips. Yep, I'm pointing towards the lips. This is a little bit more complicated when you're working with shapes like these, and you have to sort of pull off these weird angles. Can get very difficult very fast, and it's always better to sort of try and copy the shape you've already plopped down, so you retain a little bit of the orientation. It just makes it easier to work out, and makes it a little bit easier overall, just to not make this sort of asymmetrical mess. So yeah, there I am, sort of working through the alignment there, which is again another tricky bit, but you've just got to plow on through it and do your best. So I'm happy with that. The top lip's looking good, and that'll do me. Just sort of tweaking the alignment a little bit there to get it a bit more centered between those eyes. And again, I'm not going to do all the work. I'm going to be lazy and just select these and create a blueprint to copy them over, because it's to save time wherever you can. These things take a long time, and it's best to do. So there we are, creating the blueprint and creating a lovely fishy trap. I think I've lost it here. I've got a lot of bits and pieces from old builds there, and I should really organise that a little bit better and delete some of them so I can find some of these blueprints a little bit better. Oh yeah, there we've got it. The trout pout. It's beautiful, luscious lips. And now all that's left is to just change the colour to a more appealing, beautiful, luscious pink colour. No idea why I'm doing the Pepe Le Pew thing. I just am. Just deal with it. So yeah, just checking the reference. It's like this sort of more sort of roundy, horizontal more than vertical shape. For some reason I had it in my mind that it was more of a vertical sort of kissy face than it actually was. And now I'm trying this other trick that I've got where you sort of you pull a sphere out of the bottom of another sphere, you copy it and you pull it down, and you can sometimes create like a perfect rounded shape. Doesn't always work. As you can see, we've got this weird sort of pixelated mess around the edges, but I pulled it and adjusted it slightly and we had this perfect edge. But as you can see, I zoomed out and it's sort of extended. As you pull back, sometimes you can see, if you clip anything, you can see a little bit more of the object when you pull back. So I wasn't quite happy with that, and thought I'd try for another shape, which is a little bit of a flatter rounded shape that you can get with these, to make the belly section here, which is a little bit more in keeping with what we were going for after checking the reference. The other shape was just a bit too big. It was the whole underbelly and it was coming up through the lips, and it just didn't match, so we had to sort of re-engineer it. See me whipping around there again. I'm sorry, the camera movements are so erratic. It's just these weird habits I've got when I'm building, just always constantly check from every angle. I know it's a little bit difficult to deal with. It is like you're on a roller coaster. Funnily enough, and we were playing Planet Coaster. We're on a different kind of roller coaster ride here today. It's me creating things at double speed. I'll try and nip that in the bud for future videos if I can, and just try and adjust stuff. Okay, so we moved on to the wings. The fins. It's a fish. Is it a bird? Is it half and half? I don't know. The wings. We're moving on to the wings section here. I'm just trying to find a shape again that matches this. It's difficult. You have to experiment with all these different shapes, and just coloured it to a little bit of an off-white colour, which they are in the picture. So yeah, that was my best solution for trying to get this sort of semicircular rounded shape that I could think of. Some of the other shapes have got these flat edges that don't always work, like this one I'm about to select here. It's a bit too flat, doesn't really work out. So we're just going to try and create this sort of wingy shape here. That's way too big. As you can see, I'm looking through these. Sometimes I forget the scale of these things. I'm thinking, oh, I use a big one and a smaller one, and smaller one I work down. But the size of these shapes, it varies wildly. I always try and work from the biggest down so I can get the small details in. Because if you start small, you just severely limit yourself to what you can create. Everything kind of has to be this huge behemoth thing. So you may have noticed that if you've downloaded any of my things. But feel free to just, if you have downloaded them, just pull them apart. It's a blueprint. You can always put it back after you've picked them apart, and have a look at what shapes I've used. And sometimes it'll look like I've used one shape, and I've actually used 10 or 12 to create this sort of weird complex shapes. But this one's pretty simple, but that also kind of makes it difficult. I see I'm struggling to find a shape that works for that. But that's what 90% of this process is, just playing around with stuff and trying to figure it out. So I think this is a bit thinner. It's a thinner shape. It can be rounded at the end if I had a rounded shape. So I thought I'll try this. I'll work this out. I'll plot this down, play with it, and see what happens. And it looks okay for now. That again is what most of this is. It's just sort of, sometimes it looks terrible when you first put it down, and then you add a little bit more to it. You can sort of see it come together, or sometimes it doesn't come together and you have to delete the whole lot and try again. It's 50-50 sometimes, but you have to sort of do this deconstructing thing where you look at your reference image and you look at the shape and you try and think of smaller shapes that could create that shape, and sort of deconstruct it in your own mind, and then think about how you'll build it is the best way to to approach the situation. It's what I do most of the time. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, that'll work. I can just use this shape and this shape, and I'll try it, and it works straight away. Other times I'm really super confident. I'm like, yeah, I can do this, this, and this. I try it, sucks, and have to play around again. So some of these builds super quick, some of them not so much. This one's not too bad. I was expecting around half an hour for this build, but these swings gave me a little bit of trouble. So it took a little bit longer, and I ended up with about an hour build, which I'd waffled all the way through, and then at the end realised, oh no, I'm going to have to speed this up. I'm not making an hour-long video for YouTube. That's ridiculous. And again, if this one's a little bit janky, first video, folks, it's my first day. Give me a break. I will get better, I promise. I was kind of forced out of my shell by everyone asking me to sort of make these videos to show how I do what I do. And it's not a lot, admittedly. Not a lot of people have done it. So, I'm expecting about 4 views on this video. But hey, I helped 4 people, and that's what counts. So yeah, that's that's about the long and short of it. So yeah, I apologise if this video is terrible quality. I've probably had to run it through the editor a couple of times to get everything done. Instead of like a 2-step, it's probably ended up being about a 4-step. I'm on stage 3 now. I've put it through twice just to get it to a point where I could add audio to it, and I've got to put it through again with the audio on top of it, and then so it might be a horrible pixelated mess by the time it gets to YouTube, for which I apologise. But you can hopefully still sort of make out what I'm doing here. I probably should have sped this up more. This is taking a long time to get this wing done. I did edit out the second wing, so don't worry if you're sick of me waffling on already. Don't worry. I did edit out the second wing. So you just have to put up with making this one for now. But hey, it gives me an opportunity to waffle on some more about how I do what I do. And I apologise for these coming out looking a little bit phallic. They do sometimes. That's just you can't make things perfect. Sometimes the things you make look a little bit like penises. There's nothing you can do about that. You just gotta move on. Try and reduce that. I think I make them a little bit more like penises inadvertently later on. But yeah, for now they're not too bad. They're a little bit flattened, trapped in a car door sort of look. So yeah, we're nearly done with this thing anyway. It's not too much longer, and then we can move on and do the sort of mohawky bit on the top and the tail. But yeah, as you can see, it's this slow, awkward, tweaky process all the way through, just slowly improving it as best you can, all the way through. Nothing comes out perfect the first time, so if it's not looking great, don't give up, don't beat yourself up, just sort of keep plugging away at it, and it will get better. It's just this sort of constant swoopy camera again. Constantly looking, and that's why I'm constantly looking. You'll notice little imperfections or things you can make look better from different angles, so it is kind of a good habit, not so much for videos, but it is a good habit to sort of sweep around your creations every now and then, take a step back and look at them, and sort of assess how everything comes together as a whole before you move on to anything else. Wow, I really did fiddle with this thing for forever, didn't I? This is at double speed too. I don't know, I don't know how much longer this thing's going to go on for. Yeah, I mean, at this point I'm thinking, it's not looking quite right. The shapes at the edge are looking a bit too uniform, a bit too flat, so I sort of add in the shapes I originally started with the benefit of having this sort of straight shape already, and not having to stretch these out, because these shapes don't stretch lengthways very well. It does leave a lot of sort of scarring along the sides, and it's not really that great for creating shapes, but not too bad for the ends. It kind of brings the shape together a little bit more than they were originally. It makes them a little bit less uniform and a little just less, I don't know, simplistic looking. You kind of have to cheat the system, as I said, but sometimes little ways that you can cheat it are odd. But you can see it's more sort of rounded now. It creates this curve around the outside edge, which makes it look a lot better, and it sort of masks the fact that it's made of these straight shapes. It makes it look a lot more rounded. It's just fooling the eye more than anything. With these, and as you might have noticed, a little bit more phallic looking as well now. Sorry about that. Hopefully I can still, put this video up without getting pulled by the new system of family-friendly content that YouTube's got going up. I think it'll be okay. I didn't make them. No, I'm not going to say that. Let's move on. Let's move on from that. So yeah, okay. Long last, we are coming to the end. I have no idea how long this was. It's 20 minutes. 20 minutes in real time. No idea how long this was. It's a little bit too long. So sorry, but thank you for sitting with me. If you're still here, thank you. I promise it does move along eventually. But again, this shows you the process anyway. That it isn't A to B. It's A to Z to W to D to G. Just this weird squiggly, always jumping back and forth between what you've built and what you were building. Weird process, but it when it works, it's really gratifying and really great to see the end results. Really more fiddling. Come on now. Come on, me. Sort it out. Really? Okay, still going. Still going. Oh my god, I'm going to have to go back and edit this. Okay, no, second wing. Okay. Second wing, we did it. We're at the end. Okay, so I'm moving on to the mohawk on top of the head now. And I think I can talk about something else. Another one of my techniques at some point during this. It's coming up right here after I get offended by the Planet Coaster branded on these shapes. Sometimes it's not obvious and you don't notice. Sometimes it is glaringly obvious. As in this case, right there. Why, Frontier? Why? So yeah, I'm going to have to hide that one way or another. But here's this technique I'm talking about. Is where you select an object. So the axis cursors come up, and then you go down to the scenery tab and select the shape again. When it appears, it will be in alignment with the one that you've previously placed, so it helps you create a straight edge, so you can just pull these shapes out and sort of elongate them without any edges appearing, or you have to sort of work that bit out yourself. But it does help to sort of reduce any sort of fiddling about you have to do with these shapes. And again, it doesn't quite stretch as far back as I'd like it to with just the one shape, so we've got to throw in another one, and I'm trying to work out here the best angle to sort of have it stretch round to the back of the head, and that looks okay to me. That feels right. And just fiddle with these edges here so it doesn't leave like a crease at the top that's noticeable. Sometimes you can reduce that, sometimes it's not there at all, sometimes try as you might, you just can't eliminate it. So yeah, more swoopy action, everyone. I love it. And yeah, here I am just sort of trying to figure out the best shape to use for the front. This one's looked fine from the start. It's just a little bit wider than what I've already got. So the best solution is just to stretch out what I'd already placed down a little bit more, as you can see me do. Coming up here, it's just yeah, we need a little bit more on the edge there, and it'll match up. And again, it's that technique of just select it, go down, and it's just already in alignment for you, and it does help. Again, if you've got like a rounded shape and you've already twisted it to a weird angle, it won't help so much. The object will appear like at this random angle somewhere in the middle, and you'll have to pull it out and work with it. But sometimes it works and it does the job, and that's what we want at the end of the day. So yeah, we're just working on the front section now. Just pull it up and try and find the right angle where it looks close, as close as you can. Again, there is no perfection, folks. There's just close enough. So yeah, I figured out from looking at the reference there, it's just like it's about halfway up. You just want to sort of have this sort of little V section about halfway along, and that looks okay. That looks all right. Just got to cheat the curve there, just make it look like it's rounded, even though these are just angled flat shapes. It's, you know, sometimes you do the best you can, and it looks fine. It looked good enough to me. I didn't feel the need to put any rounded objects on top. I thought that'd just be good enough as it was. So yeah, just checking the reference again now for the. Yep, it looks good. Swoopy, do some swoopy business. All the angles, but look, see, the swoopy business pays off, because I've noticed that the eyes were a little bit off center, or the mohawk's a little bit off center. Not quite sure what it is. I think originally, yeah, I think it's the eyes. So I sort of pull those more in line, a little bit more swoopy, and oh yeah, now the mohawk looks off. You're gonna have to do this a lot if you're gonna be building these things. It's more sort of, yeah. The last section, you make the most adjustments at the end, just at the end, to sort of pull it all in line. Sometimes it looks fine if you've been building it all along. Sometimes you'll find yourself at the end just going, no, that's wrong. Pull it out, start again. Well, not start again, but, you know, give it a wiggle. And yeah, we're coming up to the tail now. Which is, yeah, thankfully one of those sort of easy shapes where you can already tell by looking at it, oh, okay, we've got this sort of fanned effect here that you can do quite easily with the shape, and it will look pretty much like it does in the reference picture, and it's like, oh, hey, look, easy. Sometimes it is that way. Sometimes, blood, sweat, and tears. But this one, not too bad. Pretty easy. Unlike the fwing, which seemed to take me 20 minutes, and now I'm just thinking, oh, okay, well, look inside the mouth. It's looking a bit weird with the red showing through, so let's just add another little rounded shape on the inside, and we can darken it up and make it look like the inside of a mouth more than just, you know, the body showing through, and make it look a little bit better than it did. And more swoopy time, everyone. Yeah, I like me some swoopiness. Yeah, and doing this, I've noticed that, you know, one, this wing section's a little bit off just as it was, but two, that I kind of wanted to angle these out a little bit more. They look a bit flat against the body, and it looks a bit wrong from the front profile. So, you know, just sort of angle these out, and also fix that little bit that didn't quite look right at the sides, poking through the sort of more oval shape that we had. And yeah, just endless fiddling. Yep, more endless fiddling. I'm very sorry. I can't edit this thing again. It will be 4 pixels by the end if I do it again. But yeah, it's my first day, folks. My first day. Give me a break. First YouTube video. I don't. Yeah, it's my first day. So yeah, that's it done, and time to blueprint it. So yeah, thank you for persevering, and toughing it out to see how I make these things. It was nice of you to stop by. Please subscribe if you like the creations already made, and you know, don't find the swoopy action a little bit too much to bear. I'm going to be making some more complex things coming up, but for now, that's all.